Inter Milan a bit timid away and see analysis on these kind of games. We normally look at the forms of the teams, the quality of players, the quality of managers are two teams, and so any or more position on the league log and I most at times so and so a analysis on air games like this. But one thing and say in this game, I am not form and time county this kind of a day boom because clearly Upetima all bought in the Champions League time in time out. Nemono Ewosura Inter Milan. So you can clearly say Inter Milan is going to win. But one thing and say in the last 6 games two teams you are Shebiano, I AC Milan and so Eshe Club FN say Inter Milan. In the first leg, almost show by a goal to nil, and in the second leg weekend and also Ebasono a 1 goal per and a PMO from Abante FN say a Stupina and also a game. One thing and say in the last 6 games on my bar, weekend no AC Milan extended to 7 games on my bar Inter Milan intimate and say there have been a lot of variation in systems AC Milan ebo. There have been a lot of changes of players AC Milan for the room in the game against Club FN Inter Milan. But Inter Milan for no have failed to recognize how Club FN AC Milan and so the room. So Abra lineup on the and how coach FN Massimiliano Allegri. And so far so she said in midfield now clearly he wanted a midfield dominance against Club FN Inter Milan. So Ostate Abante FN Luka Modric for him to have a lot of creativity up front, for him to have a lot of the ball in the midfield, and also a ball against Club FN Inter Milan. So almost extended to 7 games and Club FN Inter Milan, and so Entimi share AC Milan Bobukun. And now almost Atima close the 10 points gaba na eda omuntem on the league log and I think say AC Milan is gradually catching up against Club FN Inter Milan. Now, so Oko Milan Kromonoma, when it comes to the European football, Inter Milan almost so Omonomono Ewosuro at that side. But when it comes to the bragging right, locally in the Italian Calcio Serie A, now a Club FN AC Milan and almost so anya the bragging right against Inter Milan in the debut della Maddalena and also Etimi Eba so Ukopim also in the La Liga so on Friday Real Madrid Ekoye Jumano against Boboko FN Celta Vigo almost shared by a goal to nil. It was a deflected goal. Whether I say a deflected goal and I said Madrid for and so Etimi 3 points against Celta Vigo almost close to the gap to a 1 point. Now also Barcelona for make a statement going to the game against Bilbao as Sam Mames say almost betima widen the gap and going into that game. One of the problem was Sam Mames and he say almost Starboy friend say Nico Williams Akakupra and they also believe so much in the strength and the quality of Abante friend say Nico Williams Abebia Ombesi Akai say also Apra in a big game on many Barcelona Kokobono and a big headache at the Maboko friend say Bilbao against Barcelona. But Barcelona for going into this game, they needed to win for them to extend more point gap between Omo and Barcelona Bobukuno. And one thing they say in the game, now Barcelona do all many share in 2 games. They needed to win this game and also have a players ready against Newcastle in the Champions League and also Ebebaso. So clearly in the game, coach friends as of late, stay some of the important players at Barcelona. So he will rest Femi Lopez because they will be needing any services against Club FN Newcastle. The energy of the body up front, they runs through the spaces. Teams in actually. So in the midfield, Pedri was arrested and a second half on also Ebamu. Abante FN Rafinha was also rested. Meaning, onya some of the boys, almost in the game against Club FN Newcastle. But game no quite very difficult for club and friends at Barcelona. But say quite difficult. You only need one moment to change the whole story, to change the narrative. And Omo and so step up in that moment was the two-star boy of Barcelona, Bobo Kono, Abante friends Pedro Gonzalez and Lamine Yamal. That is split passes. Abante friends Pedro Gonzalez eba game him. Also ebeye and look at the passer. Also the Abante friends Lamine Yamal and a wonderful goal from the young chapper. Also etimi esheye Barcelona so etimi winning. And now omo lead the La Liga table with 4 points. No money na ekuye and so edemo. Now omanya players and much of them rested. And almost so one thing is Barcelona we jumanano. Oman fly back to Barcelona. Fast forward from Sama Menzormano and straight to Oman FNC England, preparing against Boboko FNC Newcastle China at the St. James's Park. And Club FNC Chelsea game on Ebaso in the Emirates FA Cup against Club FNC Wrexham. One thing is as before Sebe call into the game, Nya didn't come money now. Chelsea Boboko no had a lot of investors because investors fund be now extra Chelsea in the regulated time. Almost ubetima win the game no, but Chelsea failed to win the game at 90 minutes. Extended to extra time before say Abante friends Ghana Chomo and Jao Pedro Mube the magic for Chelsea for them to win against Wrexham Boboko no. But one thing and it's Liam Rosenier is doing something exceptional at Chelsea Boboko no. After so far Chelsea Boboko no, it is only Mikel Arteta and our share air coach Liam Rosenier. There's no other manager in the Premier League this season. Washer coach Liam Rosenier at Chelsea Boboko. 3 times on it, coach Mikel Arteta Shebiano on so to me and defeat against him. But with the exception of coach Mikel Arteta, no manager in the Premier League and so Anna share Liam Rosenier. Emma Minya GDB say nkomo obi di say e was say the Manchester United Jumadieno Edema Michael Carrick Emma ni Juma no the kind of commentary surrounding Michael Carrick and Manchester United job no. I didn't say Liam Rosenier ain't sharing that attention. But one thing is for me, I believe say ye man of the time. Next now but tell the man Liam Rosenier at Chelsea or betima ye Jumano at the amateur Bobo Kono. But this conversation among for AD, especially Omwa or now Omujire pass now San Kenya time Edema Enzo Maresca Emani ye Jumano. And one thing is the Obaya or you know, and it's a one. The Enzo Maresca project Obeshe say, any the kind of players are no Liam Rosenier, Ebe Enrehetia at Chelsea Bobo Kono, the same system, the same players now, and a coach offense Liam Rosenier, and so Edo Omo Eye. One thing I want change about Chelsea Bobo Kono is the mentality. Where I say Omo Eda formed by a goal to another by 3 goals to the corner. You can see Chelsea for not have the fighting spirit. Almost so able to aba back for them to win against Team Bia. Omo Ebo. That's the only thing I change in Chelsea Bobo Kono. But there's this player. I didn't say the number 9 jersey cares at Chelsea Bobo Kono. Affecting this time around. It is, and I say it happened to a lot of players. Some about Chelsea Bobo Kono. Omo ebe share the number 9 jersey and Liam